This is William with Commodity Traders International. Today we are looking at the Carter Day F510LH. The LH would stand for left hand. This unit has been meticulously separated and cleaned for international shipment. We are going to document loading the machine, and I wanted to note that we know where these machines wear. This machine shows very little wear, but the primary inlet on all the chutes, this is always where these machines wear, so we added these steel plates for longevity. This machine is equipped with a 5 horsepower, 230, 460 volt, hazardous location, 3-phase electric motor. We also sourced a new cogged belt for this unit that goes behind this shield here. The belt is still in good shape, but we did not want the customer to be down. Again, we pride ourselves in getting these machines ready to work. And again, on the primary inlet of the bottom shoe, we added these steel covers to help with longevity. This machine has done very, very little work. As you can see, the paint is barely worn off of the bottom shoe. This machine is in good overall condition. We are here in the shop reloading the balls in the ball racks. Every piece has been meticulously cleaned for whatever customer would buy it, or meticulously cleaned for international shipment. We are very familiar with moving these machines. We normally put them in like a high cube container for shipping them internationally. As you can see, we are loading the ball racks with brand new balls. There are 20 balls per compartment, and we have brand new balls going into the machine. That will go in every ball rack. Note when installing the ball racks that there is a directional flow. You can see that this is faded and there is an arrow. This is to follow the flow of seed going through the machine. Again, I just want to document how thoroughly we cleaned this unit. We completely took it apart, took every screen component and carrier pan component out. They were thoroughly pressure washed. We removed the upper air chamber, the back air column. All of that has been meticulously washed, and we are going to start the reassembly process now. In the original pictures, you would have seen the final discharge area here. This edge was bent slightly, and we have repaired that with heavy steel and glue. See, that was done very nicely. So that is perfectly functional and satisfactory. We are sliding in our first ball rack. You can see that we labeled each ball rack and slot in the upper and lower shoe. This is to assist in reassembly. You can see we try to eliminate all questions for the customer so they can get the machine and go right to work with it. We have the ball racks installed. Now we are installing our first screen in B3. It is a 5/64 slot. You can see there. Using the provided T-handle Allen wrench, we will tighten down the ball rack retaining screw, and then the carrier pan will go here to retain the screens, which will be pushed on by the tailgate. We are now installing the spreader blank. Again, this has been labeled for ease of removal and installation. This will simply slide in, and it must lip. Here you can see a good representation of it not lipping. And on this side, it is lipping the screen properly. We're going to make it lip now. Now it is lipped, and the tailgate can be pushed in with the retaining screw, and that will hold your screens tight. Now we are going to move on to the next slot, which will be BP, and it is labeled as well. This is a carrier pan that divides the lower screen from the upper screen. We have installed our first carrier pan. As you can see, it is labeled to match. Again, using our T-handled Allen key, we have the first carrier pan installed. And again, this unit barely has the paint worn off of it. This unit has seen very little use. It is in exceptional shape. Ball racks are installed in slot B2. 20 balls per compartment. Our B2 slot is now fully loaded with the screens. It is a 4.5 64th slot. It is very important to remember to lock down your ball racks as well using the T-handle provided. We are now going to install the 50-50 splitter. This splits the flow of product between the B2 and B3 screen slot. Now we are completely done in the lower section of the shoe. We can now load the tailgate. We are now installing the bottom tailgate, and it will be retained by the tailgate retaining nuts. We are now completely done with the bottom shoe bottom section. We are now going to move on to slot B1. We are now in slot B1. We have our ball racks installed, 20 balls per compartment. We use the T-handle to lock down the ball rack retaining clips. We are now going to install the screen. It is important to note we have a steel lip. This is the first piece that will go in here. And something else to note while installing screens, the lip will always follow the flow of grain. Note the lip here, and the grain will be flowing this way. Sometimes it is advantageous to have the screens lip on the outside, and then you can gently install them, and then the screens do not get the lip bumped off. Now that we have ensured that our screens are still lipped and are seated home, we are going to install our final piece. This is a pass-through pan. That goes right up against the felt. Note that everything must lip properly. Now we will install the tailgate, and we will install the tailgate retaining nuts. Note how tight the tailgates go in. They're all flush. We now have everything loaded in the bottom shoe from the B3, BP, B2, and B1 slot. This unit is set up in a triple sift configuration in the lower shoe. We are now done with that. We are going to lower the machine down and start on the top shoe. We have now set the machine down. You can see this machine is still in exceptional shape. The machine has seen very little use. Again, we installed these high wear components to assist with longevity of the machine. We are going to now start in slot T2. Our first installation will be the ball racks. Then we lock these down with the provided T-handle. You have seen all this before. Then the screens will go in. We will document the screens. And then there will be a carrier pan going in at the tail. Then there will be a carrier pan here. Then there will be ball rack and screen and a 50-50 splitter because the top shoe is going to be set up in a scalp configuration. We will now continue on loading the cleaner. I could not remember if I documented in slot B1 in the bottom shoe, there is a 10/64 round hole screen. Continuing our installation in the top shoe, we are in slot T2. We have a spreader blank that is going to be the first piece in. It will go all the way down to the front. Again, we must make sure that the unit lips properly with the screens. If the unit does not lip properly, it is imperative that you do not try to beat the machine closed. These machines are designed with tight tolerances and they must lip properly. We have the ball racks installed and locked down using the provided T-handle. In slot T2, we are now going to install the screens, being sure that they lip properly. We now have the screens in slot T2 installed. They are a 16/64 round screen. We are now going to move on to the intermediate carrier pan. Moving on, in the top shoe, we are in the TP slot, which is top pan or carrier pan. We have it lipped properly and we secured it down with the provided T-handle. We are now moving on to slot T1, loading the ball racks now. Note when installing the ball racks that there is a directional flow. You can see that this is faded and there is an arrow. This is to follow the flow of seed going through the machine. We have the ball racks installed in slot T1. As I said in the beginning of the video, pay attention to the ball rack direction. There is a decal on the side of the ball rack to indicate the flow of product. Make sure that the ball racks are positioned correctly to ensure proper ball agitation for cleaning of the screens. We now have our top screen installed in slot T1. It is a 16/64 round. We are now going to install the last piece. This is the 50/50 splitter. It splits the flow of product from the T1 to the T2 slot. Slides in just like so. Now we are ready to install the tailgate. As a reminder, the flow pattern of this Carter Day 510 is a scalp and then a triple sift in the lower screen. We are now installing the final tailgate. We now have the final tailgate installed. We are installing the tailgate retaining nuts. This will conclude loading the screens and ball racks in the Carter Day 510. I hope this video reflects the thoroughness that we have taken in cleaning this unit. We are now going to move on to installing the upper air chamber. I wanted to quickly demonstrate that there is a hole in the top of the screen that helps intersect the screen pulling rod. This will assist you in removing them. And there is also a slot in the ball rack that will assist you in removing those, or you can go from underneath, but be cautious. If you pull on an inner one, you can bend and damage these ball racks. You can see we have the unit partially assembled. Unit is running perfectly. Unit's just humming right along, as you would expect. We have good ball agitation. this machine is running without the safety shields. This is only for demonstrational purposes. You must always run this unit with the safety shields. Serious injury could occur if you do not follow that precaution. Unit is humming right along with no irregular noises. This will conclude the loading of the shoes and ball racks, the Carter Day 510. Here at Commodity Traders International, we take great pride in our work. We are now going to install the discharge chutes of the unit. They will be intersecting with these holes here. Those will all be going out the left-hand side, since this is a left-hand machine. Those units can be changed left or right for certain applications. We have the chutes installed on the machine, as you can see here. We are now going to mount the upper air on the unit. We will show you that on the forklift. Here you can see we have the upper air unit and hopper suspended with a ratchet strap. We will now lower this down on the top and secure it with the fasteners.
As you can see, we have mounted the top air on this unit. It has been secured. Everything lines up perfectly.
This unit comes with an operation and service manual. It will be provided with the machine. Here you can see we have the unit running. Unit just hums right along. Unit really came out nice. It's in perfect condition. It would be recommended that this unit has a VFD installed on the shake. So you would need a 5 horsepower VFD. Unit is in just perfect condition. Unit did very little work. We have tried to show that in the video thoroughly. As I said, it would be recommended to put a VFD on the shake. Very nice unit. We're now going to run the hopper. Here you can see we have the hopper running, proper rotation. Unit runs as it should. Unit is in just perfect condition. It would also be recommended to put a VFD on the hopper so you can vary the flow. This unit has been brought through the shop, completely cleaned, serviced, checked out. The unit is in perfect working condition. This unit and many more like it are readily available through us here at Commodity Traders International. For all other seed, feed, grain, recycling, and research equipment, please reach out to us. A link to our website will be in the video description down below. Thank you so much for watching.